into the room. So welcome. We're on week 3 of Everything Comes Back to the Centre. So I know some of you haven't made every week, so it's a reminder so that this whole section, the whole of the torso is the centre in relation to this series. And we're looking at how if we have a sense and we're able to work more with the centre connected to the legs, the centre connected to the arms, and also the centre connected to the neck and the head, will improve the support and the core kind of connection for most people. So we'll have a little bit of experimentation on that. So to start with, to get that connection with the shoulders and the arms, if you take your arms out shoulder distance, it doesn't have to be really out wide, but just taking them forward or up to the side, and then just bringing them in, and you can have your fingers touching for a second and then opening to wherever you wish to. So feeling, and if possible, even moving from the back muscles around the shoulder blades, rather than thinking I'm moving my arms. Of course you're moving your arms, but could the kind of initiation feel like it's coming more from the back? And don't worry if that isn't kind of working with your muscle memory. And the other thing which might help is this sense, I'll just take my arms down just to show you, the sense of kind of coming into centre. So it feels like you're closing in slightly through the front of the chest as you sweep the arms in. And what sometimes helps also with that is if you also bring the belly in a little bit, so you feel like the core support will also help bring that kind of action of pulling into the centre. Okay, and if that makes no sense, don't worry, you're moving your arms and you're getting some connection between the front of the chest and the upper back. Okay, and then release the arms, have a shake out for the arms, shoulders, so that you're not feeling the tension. So with the legs, to try and get that connection, we're going to lift one knee up to just above hip height and then lift the other one up. And get that sense, if you can, of feeling like the lengthening through your lower back and your bum. So you feel like your leg does start more at the lower back, more at the pelvis, or even higher up as you move the knees up. And also, if you can, feel that connection, what's happening in the hip flexor and the lower belly as you lift. Could you almost lift by putting a little bit more focus on the lower belly? It's not easy to get that sense, so don't worry if that doesn't work. Okay, and then just pause for a moment and see if you can get this sense of the legs feeling like they extend into the core, into the centre, and see if you can feel the arms as if they also, and they do, kind of lengthen into, or like make a connection into the centre, both back and front. Just see if you can have that feeling for a moment. Okay, so one more bit. We haven't worked a lot, or hardly at all, to be honest, with the head and the neck. It's a hard area to work with. So again, we're going to kind of have this idea, and it is real, of course, that the neck muscles extend into the center of the body, into the torso. So if you just bring the chin down to the chest and feel the lengthening of the back of the neck for a moment, and you'll feel that going into the upper back, and then gently lift the head into neutral. Take care as you extend the chin a little bit more towards the sky, and feel that lengthening through the front of the neck. As long as that feels safe, just do it a couple more times, really slowly, just so you're getting that sense of the back and the neck and the head connected. If you don't like it, don't do it, or just do a limited connection. Doesn't suit everybody's neck to do that. Okay. Next time you're in neutral, just bring one ear towards the shoulder and feel, before you come back up, just feel the lengthening of the side of the neck. You might not feel into the torso so much, but just try and get that sense of the connection into at least the shoulder. Bring your head gently back up and take the ear to the opposite side. And again, there might be restrictions or discomfort, so just keeping it light if that's the case, feeling the length, bringing that back up. So we'll just do one more each side. So we'll just end up doing this and running out of time. So just slowly getting that connection between side. And then when you're back into neutral, just feel the sense of the head, neck into the torso, arms into the torso, legs into the torso. And breathe. Okay. So on that note, just briefly, just take the hands to the lower belly. Yeah, so hands to the lower belly. So my little fingers more into the top of the thigh. And just notice the breath for a moment there. And you can still also feel that sense, the legs into the body, arms into the body, and head, neck into the body as you breathe. So you won't feel much. If you need to kind of exaggerate it slightly, just let the belly swell out a little bit more. It's hard to feel lower belly. Okay, and release. And then just taking the fingers now to the collarbone area. Yeah, so my fingers are pointing either on the collarbone or just above the collarbone, and my thumbs are just kind of tucked into the front of my shoulders, and see if you can feel the breath there. So you might feel again a little bit of swelling, expansion on the in-breath, both up and out through that kind of connected area into the shoulders. Okay, lovely. Okay, so we're going to go down onto the floor now, and we're going to need a bit of space. So I'm going to do my best to show you some of the things we're going to be doing. I might not cover everything, just so you've got a sense of it. So if you just look for now, you don't need to come down, but if you can just see the screen. So what we'll be doing on our back is, certainly at one point we'll have I've got a bent left knee, I've got my left arm extended, I've got my right arm by my side, and I'm rolling over, and then trying to lengthen slightly through the arm and come back up. That's one of the things we're going to do. We're also going to have just the leg rolling and extending, but that with a straight leg. And we're going to also just think what else we've got on that side. That might be enough to give you a sense of space you need and the types of movements and rolling that we're doing. Hopefully that was just a little bit of a cue. So if everybody comes down onto the back now, if you're not already in that position, and you want your feet on the floor with your knees bent. So we're going to do some other things before we do those rolling movements. So you can just have your hands a little bit away, and arms just a little bit away from the body, so the shoulders can rest down for a moment. The feet are just hip distance apart from each other, and let the knees drift side to side. So as your knees drift side to side, they don't need to go that far, so you're rocking over pelvis, but feeling into the lower belly, how that feels, and into the lower back. And having that sense of the legs being connected into the center as you move from side to side. Okay, next time you come to neutral, lift the feet off the floor, so knees are bent, so you're kind of in that 90-degree angle. Let the toes reach towards the sky, get the lower back down if you can, and then just floating the knees over from one side to the other side. I'm suggesting you keep the legs still that hip distance separation. And now you'll have a stronger sense of the belly as you move side to side. You might have a stronger sense of the glute area because there's more work to do in the center. So we're just trying to make that link, what's going on in the center and the legs, because the toes are heading towards the ceiling and the ankles are flexed. You'll get a little bit more sense of tone through the whole of the lower body. Okay, and then bring the feet down. Relax the belly, and just take a slightly deeper breath if you can, just to relax things a little bit. Okay, so then we're going to sweep the arms up, which we've done in class loads of times. So the palms face each other, shoulder distance apart. So because initially we're reaching up, yeah, so it's that sense of extension, and we'll feel that under the back, yeah, upper back. And just take the arms one side and then the other side. You can leave the legs where they are, so you can again get that connection of arms connected into the center, into the torso. And really feel that as if they're kind of one, you can, as you move them side to side. Back into center and pause, and then lengthen a little bit more if there's space to do so, and then bring the shoulders back down towards the ground, and then lengthen, and then release them down. So the muscles will kind of, on the back, they'll extend, lengthen, and then they'll release as you bring them, the shoulder blades back down. So a couple more times, extending and releasing. And then when we've got the arms there, we'll just do what we quite often do. We take knees one direction and arms in the other direction, so we get a little bit more of this rolling. So we can also then be a bit more prepared for when we're doing the rolling exercises to follow, movements to follow. So again, really connected into legs into center, feeling the belly and the lower back and the hip flexors and the glutes in the lower body, and feeling the chest, pecs, armpits, shoulders, upper back through the arms as you twist from side to side. Wonderful. Okay, and then lower the arms and extend both legs into straight, yes, for a moment at least. Okay, so just feel the length, and just see if you, with this kind of relaxed position, you can still feel the legs coming up through the hip flexors and into the center of the body, through the glutes, and again through the arms at the front, into the chest, and through the back of the body. So we're not concentrating too much on the head and the neck for most of the rest of the session, but if you want to get that connection as well, very good. Okay, so bending both knees again, so the feet are on the ground. Have your arms a short distance away from your body, and see how this goes, because you're going to roll over from one side, roll over onto one of your arms, so it might not feel hugely comfortable, so you just have to work out what's going to work best for you. Okay, so if you lengthen your right leg and you pick the left foot off the floor into that 90-degree angle, so knee pointing towards the sky, toes pointing towards the sky, and then roll that left leg until you touch the floor on the right side. You keep the leg bent initially and then come back up. So see how it feels with the knee bent. So you're trying to keep both shoulders down. It might rise a little bit, the right shoulder, but you're wanting, if possible, to keep it broadly down. Okay, so next time you roll over and lengthen, straighten the leg and the toes touch, and bring it back up with the bent knee as you kind of pause in the center, and then roll again to your left side with your right toes pointing and touching to the ground. So that a bigger movement. So next time you come to toes touching the ground, just see if you can pause there for a moment, feeling the length of the leg and the leg into the torso. So you feel more of the side body and the glute just for a second there. Okay, gently lifting from the center, feels like you're lifting from the core, belly comes in to lift the leg back into neutral. And rest that leg down, foot down, and then lengthen through both legs. And just pause, see how it feels through the leg that you've worked, and when you can feel that greater connection into center. Okay, just make sure that lengthened leg is aligned, hip, knee, ankle. Then we go to the second side. So left knee bent, then take the left foot off the floor, and then we're rolling over to the right, and just touching the floor with the bent knee initially, and just getting that sense of the leg joined into the belly, into the center, and into the glutes and the lower back. And then next time we're going to go to straighten leg if it'll work. If not, just stick with this one. So rolling and pointing and straightening the leg, touching down, and coming back in a neutral position with the leg bent, and then lengthening and rolling over again. So as you take your toe, you're slightly extending away anyway. Next time you do take the toes over with the straight leg, just pause there and see if you can lengthen out a little bit more. The answer might be no. And feeling that whole leg attached to the center, hopefully, and the side body slightly. Okay, use the core, drawing in the belly to bring yourself back to neutral, and bringing that foot down, extend through both legs. Okay, wonderful. So we're going to work with the arms now. So bending bending the left leg, so foot on the ground, left knee bent, and taking the left arm up towards the sky. So this is where you just need to be careful on the roll where your arm is. So it's just a little distance away from your body if you can cope with this. Extend the arm up towards the sky and roll over so that the left arm touches the ground. Don't worry what goes on with the left leg. Then bring it back up towards the sky as you roll back. Okay, so do that again and feel like you're lengthening through the whole of that journey. So you can feel lengthening through the back of your arm. Then stay when you've got your hand on the floor and see if you can reach away a bit further, as long as you're not tracking anything nasty on that right side. So this one, you sort of lengthen and drag the hands forward and back on the ground. So I tend to do it with my fingers, just forward a little bit and back, just taking care with the head and the neck. The head rolls a little bit if you're happy to do that. Okay, and then bring the hand off the floor and back to face towards the sky, roll onto your back. And then let that arm just rest by your side. Feel that arm compared to the other arm, and then we'll do the other side. So lengthen both legs away, then bend the right leg, take the right arm towards the sky in that reaching position, and rolling over so your right arm comes to the ground on the left, touching the ground, and then rolling back with the right hand coming back into neutral towards the sky. So this time we go over, leading, feeling that length through the arm. And again, we just lengthen the fingers away and back a little bit. So we get that real feeling of the length through the upper arm into the body. Okay, and then reach that arm back towards the sky. Bring that arm down and relax that. Extend through both legs. Okay, see how we go with this final movement? Yeah, we'll just make this the final movement. So this time we're going to go extend the right arm towards the sky, have the right leg knee bent, foot initially on the ground, and then we're going to take the left, and we're going to take the foot off the ground of the bent knee, and we're going to roll over to the opposite side with both the leg extended and the arm extended. Push into the foot and the arm, rolling a little bit more onto your forehead, and then roll back. Coming to extended arm and bent leg. One more time, rolling over with the bent knee, and then extend through the leg and extend through the arm, and roll a little bit further if you can. Roll back. Going back into that pause position for a moment, and then lower the left leg and the left arm. Hopefully I got enough so your mind's correct. And then extending both legs, arms both to the side, wherever they gently rest for the shoulders. Okay, and then we're going to go with the opposite arm and leg. So arm to the sky, bend the leg on the same side, and take the foot off the floor. Roll over to the opposite side, lengthen through the leg and the foot and the arm a little way, and then come back into that more neutral position on your back. And then one more time, rolling over and extending through arm and leg for a moment,
and then rolling back. And releasing the arm and the leg down, and just for a moment pause with the arms and legs extended. Just take a more conscious 2 or 3 breaths and see if you can feel that sense of legs into the center of the torso, arms into the center of the torso, and if it works, head and neck into the torso. It might not work because we've not done so much with that apart from the rolling that's been going on. Okay, wonderful. So bend both knees, feet on the ground, and again, just rock across the pelvis. It might feel very different now we've done some rolling. So just rocking with the feet on the ground. You might have a little bit more space to do that. Okay, and then roll over, and we're going to come into sitting. Okay. Hope that you could broadly follow. Don't worry if you're doing something slightly different. I know it can be frustrating if you can't see. So I've got my hands behind me, and I've got my feet wide. Yeah, I've got my feet wide this way now. And I'm going to let my knees go over to one side, and the back knee, if you like, the last knee to go down, comes just behind the heel of the other foot. So just making sure you've got the legs wide enough, you go side to side. So we're unraveling a little bit, and see as you bring the knees up, just bring the belly up into action, and see if you get more of a sense that you're moving the legs through the power of the belly. Don't worry if that doesn't work, but just try and take your attention more into the center of the belly, and just see if that gives a little bit more of a kind of stability through the center. Okay, and then from here, if you can reach the arms out in front of you, you can keep them wide in shoulder distance. So there is a little bit of a reach, and see how it goes. Got a mad dog on the screen. Okay, then taking the legs over while keeping the arms extended. So it's a bit awkward. So it's like you're going to hug somebody with your arms, but you happen to be moving your knees from side to side. So you probably can't think much about your core. You're just trying to work out how on earth you get your legs from one side to the other. Some of you without attacking a dog, which is really quite complicated. I think the dog's winning. Okay, and if you can cope with 1 or 2 more, if you really don't like it in the hips, obviously, just give this one a break. Okay, arms now by your side. I've moved halfway across the room, so I'm just getting back so you can see me. Okay, so I've got, I should have said this before, I've got my right leg on top. Yeah, that means my right butt is slightly lifting. So with my left hand, so that's my, feels like my weight is more towards my left side. I'm just going to take the arm across the floor as if I'm collapsing to one side, and then I'm going to bring that arm back. Yeah, so the easy side, if you like, just taking the arm out further and bringing it back. And see if you can have, particularly as you bring it back, that sense of pulling back from the inner arm into the chest and into the upper back. So it's more of a squeeze from the center to get you back than it is using the body. I mean, obviously it is going with you. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, and then with the opposite arm, take that up, extend it, and then just do a little bit of a side bend. Again, you're going over to your easy side. And feel that slight extension down the side body. Feel the connection again, arm into body. And you might also a sense of that same side on the leg, feeling a little bit more kind of connected. Great. Bring that arm down. And let's turn over so we can do the other side. So get the other butt more firmly down. The other opposite butt obviously is then going to be slightly raised. From that position, we're going to do the slide. So sliding over to your easy side and pulling yourself back. So if it really feels uncomfortable for shoulder issues, neck issues, limit the movement to side. I've got carpet, so I'm kind of, apart from getting a little bit of carpet burn, it feels like I'm not going to fall. If you're on a wooden floor, that might be both colder and feel a little bit more difficult to safely maneuver. Okay, and then opposite arm up and a little bit of a side bend. And getting that feeling of lift, lengthen down the side through the arm. One more. Okay, and lower that arm down and gently coming into cross leg position. Yeah, if you can. So because we're not here very long, I don't think you need support on your bum. I mean, you might not sit terribly comfortably, but because we're not here too long. Okay, so I'm reaching my arms out to you. Could you do the same for me? Okay, and a little bit of coming forward. So you're not going to get too far, but a little bit of movement. And as you come forward, bringing the belly in, but happen anyway, and feeling the support from center as we kind of row forward and back. So in a moment, rather than just coming forward and back, take the hands over towards one knee and fold slightly in that direction. So one buttock will be slightly raised. So we're probably doing that about 3 times. And then opposite direction towards the opposite knee. Lengthening out and back. About 3 times. Yay. Okay. Back to center just for a couple. Reaching forward and back as long as the knees feel safe. So you don't need to have your heels really close to your body. That'll be safer for your knees if that's the kind of issue. Okay, and then we're back. Okay, so we're going to just lean back to just lengthen the legs in front of us for a moment, and then just windscreen wipe your legs, your feet, your ankles. This looks really weird on screen, doesn't it? Okay, I've got ginormous feet. So we're going to actually end standing. If you can stand, I want to check that you can still stand there. I've not disconnected your legs from your body. Okay, so finding a safe way to arise. Rise up. Hey. It takes the longest bit of the whole session, doesn't it, getting from down legs up here? Okay, so taking the legs a little bit wider, yeah, so whatever is your kind of happy wide. Take your arms out into, it's more like a human cross position. Press the feet into the ground and take the belly in. So really feeling for a moment that sense of connection of the legs into center, and then stretch out a little bit more with the arms. So the arms feel really connected to center. And then just bring the arms in, elbows in, bend the knees. So knees are bent slightly, bum coming down, elbows more into kind of cactus arms, and then push down and lengthen. Bending the knees, elbows down. So you're lengthening through the feet and the legs as you extend, and then you're coming back into a kind of center position. So you're extending, lengthening, relaxing, thought on. Okay, so one more extension. Pause with that sense of length through both arms into center. You might feel the neck and the head connected as well. And then gently lower the arms. Come back to legs in happy position. Take one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest just for a moment. And relax the belly and come more into kind of that feeling of the breath movement, feeling the breath movement through the hands. It won't be a lot because we haven't done a lot of movement, but you might feel a little bit going on in lower belly and upper chest. Feel that connection of the breath into the belly, belly into the legs, breath into the chest, chest and arms connected. Sense of the neck connecting deep into the torso, head balanced. And then let's shake out. So shake out arms, shake out legs, just mess everything all up,
because we've done lots of tight, tense movements, as well as releasing for hips and shoulders, which they usually like. So thank you for doing more strange things, and I hope I haven't meant you've knocked things over or absolutely made your dog go crazy. Okay, thank you for coming and doing interesting things, hopefully. Have a good week, don't get blown away, and see you next week if you can make it. Okay.